part of our lectionary cycle. Our first readings read probably like about any good soap opera. Again, a lot of intrigue and all that. We've been hearing from 2 Kings, and today we hear about this Athaliah. I want to pause. I want to commend our lector, taking on some pretty tough words in this part of the Old Testament. Did very well. Again, this Athaliah was the mother of King Ahaziah, who'd been killed, we read earlier, in battle. And this Athaliah was the daughter of wicked King Ahab and Jezebel. If you were at Mass earlier in the week, we heard about some of their treachery. They, again, wanted some property from a gentleman, and again, they plotted for his own murder so that they could take his property. So not good people. This Athaliah continued the trend of her parents by immediately killing everyone of the royal family, and then she usurped the throne, and she ruled for 6 years until, again, there was an hidden heir there. And during those 6 years, she again reintroduced worship of the false gods versus the one true God that the Israelites had made covenant with. But we know in the end, like we hear here, she met, again, a tragic end. And all that she'd schemed and plotted for came to nothing. She tried to store up treasures here on earth, and truly, it all came for naught. We turn to our gospel and we hear Jesus saying the contrary, right? He says, store up for yourselves treasure in heaven rather than anything on earth. And then he says some pretty challenging words. He says that the eye is the lamp of the body. And if the eye is sound, if it's good, the body will be filled with light. And if the eye is bad, it will be filled with darkness. And to me, some very chilling words is what he then adds. And if the light in you is darkness, how great will that darkness be? In other words, he's challenged us to look around, and we can see it maybe around us, even within ourselves at times. We realize when our lives can focus on sin. And the thing that we may see in others or even in ourselves, what we revel in, what's enjoyed, again, sometimes can be sinful. And we can see others, and again, often see ourselves plunging right into darkness, and we maybe don't even realize it. And how dark that darkness can be. So dark that maybe you don't even realize you're in the darkness, again, due to the devil. Again, Pope Francis is reminding us there is a devil. He's not just make-believe, not just something from movies. That devil is the father of lies, and he can twist things so much that we're convinced that darkness is light and light is darkness. And if we've come out of that sort of thing and have had a conversion, we realize how dark it is. Many of you are coming probably here this weekend to say, Lord, deepen my conversion. I want to draw closer to you. I want to put behind me those things that are not of God. We know when we choose Christ, we choose to live the right way. We can see how much our former priorities are out of whack. I know early in my professional life, I was a chemist before becoming a priest. Remember how my buddies and I sometimes would just gut through the week, saying, oh, another work day. Totally live just for the weekend. So it'll be like 5 days out of the week building up just for the weekend. And then the next day, Sunday, would be quite often a day to recover. Sometimes Mass, sometimes not. I'm not proud of those days. But thank God, him and his mercy got through my hard head, my hard heart, and say, no, there's a better way to live. I think back on that crazy cycle, 5 days, 1 day of fun, what I thought was fun. So when our Lord, again, talks about moth, decay, destroying, thieves breaking in and stealing, he's referring to those material things, those earthly concerns that rob us of our focus on our eternal destiny. And the Lord wants our eternal destiny to be in heaven with him, not the other place, that of hell. So when we choose Jesus and put him as our number one priority, we live as he wants us, again, how he wants us to live. then our lives will be filled with light. We will shine bright. And that's something no one can take away. Again, it doesn't matter what other people try to do to us. They can't remove what the Lord has put into our souls. The only person who can remove it is ourselves. We all have that gift of free will. And that's true of either the light or the darkness. If we're in sin, in darkness, the Lord wants us to reject it. If we're in His light, again, we're the only ones who can turn away and choose the darkness. We have that clear choice. Again, either the Lord, the truth, the goodness, all those things that are light. And if we choose them, again, if we choose to live a life of virtue, of charity, we're storing up for ourselves treasure in heaven. If we choose those worldly, selfish things that are going to be empty, dark, worthless, we're storing up treasures of the earth. All those things are going to pass away. We can't take them in the box, right? Casket is very small. Again, we can't take them with us. So, we have the light. We also have the darkness. These eyes of ours really work very fine. We know what is truth. We know what is lies. The choice is entirely ours, what we're going to choose. Again, if we choose the dark, that dark is going to be for eternity, unless we turn back to our merciful God. If we choose the light, not only do we have the joy, the peace of when we're living right here on earth, growing in holiness, we'll have the brilliance of light, and that's the life of Jesus Christ forever. So as we receive Eucharist here in a few moments, let us rejoice that we can be filled with that radiant light. God bless you.